Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to Lucid9 Inciting Incident. And well, basically we can continue because that's the reason we are here. At least I'm here. And okay, I used to believe that I knew everything about Yahiko. He seemed simply at first glance as readable as my books from 3rd grade. I still remember how he looked, somehow pulling 3 bulky suitcases through the door with his skinny arms. He was smiling then too. In fact, I rarely saw him without his smile. Hello, Rumi! I had already unpacked and was currently lying in my bed, reading some novel or another on my phone to pass the time. I didn't even look up to issue my greeting. Yo. The name is Yahiko Ikari. From today and onward, I'm your new overlord. This caught my attention. I hastily glanced up. The first thing I noticed was his hair. It was bright yellow, for one thing. That made it pretty noticeable. It was also cut around his face, in swaying layers, like he was some kind of idol. The next thing I noticed were his shoes. Most of the kids at the academy had nice shoes, of course, but his were on a different scale of nice. They were loafers, brown, like usual, but they were also attached with unusual designs that glowed with the sheen of some expensive material. Later I found out that they were custom made from Italy. Not that I needed to know to make my judgment. I returned to my book board. Womanizer, rich kid, arrogant, neat freak. At the very least, his type wouldn't be a trouble roommate, as long as I didn't have to talk to him. When I think about it now, it really shouldn't come as a surprise that his parents are higher-ups at Lemonade. His grades are nowhere good enough to get a scholarship, and yet he waltzes into this expensive, prestigious school, wearing Italian loafers and probably scarves from Sweden. Not to mention that, as ignorant as he might be in anything of value, he's always up to date of the latest pop culture and technological releases. Hey, pay attention to me. What does that mean? So, you're paying attention? I expected him to explode in a fit of angry entitlement. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is? Do you know what I could do to you? But he did something completely unexpected. He dropped his luggage and immediately raised it to my side, his eyes shining. Are you speaking another language? Huh? I've always wanted a multilingual minion. This is perfect. I amended my first impressions from arrogant to crazy. Regardless, this was a pretty good opportunity to have some fun. Can you write it all down? You can't write? Does that mean yes or no? So, wait, what? The bewilderment on his face was so genuine that I couldn't help but laugh. Of all the people I'd met, this guy had to be the most gullible. My name's Yama. Oh, I understood that. Really? Yeah, well, it's only to be expected. Someone as amazing as me can pick up languages in a snap. I see. Can you understand this? Yeah. What about this? Yeah. And this? Understand it all? Whoa, that's amazing. You know all 20 dialects of my language? He beamed with pride. Of course I do. I'm an Ikari. I see. So, what planet are you from? Planet? Well, that was a sudden jump. Jupiter. Really? I didn't know people lived on Jupiter. Not people. Jarzites. I paused for dramatic effect before reading off anything that came to mind in that moment. We are invincible from physical impact. We are humanoid, but our blood is blue. We abhor earth and insects, but have a strong affinity towards animals. Wait, let me take notes on this. I need to know how to best utilize a jar's opinion. He eagerly dug through his luggage, tossing clothes, cosmetics, and lemonade tech here and there in the midst of his frantic search. I shook my head in disbelief. Did he actually believe that I was from another planet? Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with it. Write down the following phrase. Yeah. This is a joke. This is funny. In our world, that means you're just messing around. Was he serious? That's what this is. A joke. I'm from Earth. No, seriously, you're a Jarzite. I was joking. I'm not Jarzite. I'm an actual human. What? Yeah, he was serious. He was actually serious. Why did you tell me you were a Jarzite? This guy would pretty much believe anything, wouldn't he? Tired of providing explanation, I simply returned to my book, but Yahiko almost hit it out of my hands. What about your name? Was that a lie too? What? Your name, Yama. If you really wanna check, our names are on the door. His face immediately turned blank. I sighed. You didn't see it when you came in. There are two named planes, Yahiko and Yama. He? Well, my good minion, never fear. I hold nothing against you for concealing such vital information from me. I didn't conceal anything. No, if you may grant my silence, I must unpack. I sighed again and turned to my book, resigning to bear with this obnoxious roommate for the entire year. My opinion of him hasn't changed much since then. He's still egotistical, oblivious, and mildly insane, but he always means well, even in the oddest of ways. Despite my frequent criticism of him, his stupid actions actually cheered me up. Now that he seems to be struggling with something, I want to repay the favor. Strangely enough, Yahiko doesn't give me a single glance at all throughout class. In fact, he's completely silent, speaking only when the teacher calls on him, and his answers are correct. It's enough to startle the entire class. On any other day, they would probably gossip about it. Today, though, there is obviously more important things to discuss. Classes proceed as usual, but no one seems to be paying attention. Even the teachers are out of it. Lectures are barely coherent. When lunch break arrives, I'm ready to speak with Yahiko, but a sudden cold voice interrupts me. Hey you! I turn around apathetically. A stocky boy standing before me, fist clenched. Wasn't this the guy who was talking with Yahiko this morning? And you are? Harubunya! Never heard of him. I had to walk past him, but he refuses to move. I'm a friend of Shoji. I stopped cold at that. I was there when you said those words to him. What do you want me to do? Apologize? That'd be a good place to start, yeah. Guilt and anger intertwined the pit of my stomach. We didn't know she was dead then. You mock him for worrying while she was being murdered. Have you seen the average high school Have you seen them? How can you be their judge without knowing anything about them? Is that an excuse to pick on Irie? What about spreading fake rumors? Look, you're not the only one at fault, but would you be saying the same thing if you found that the girl you loved was murdered in cold blood? The words hit harder because, yes, indeed, I thought of them myself. Sorry. Don't say that to me! Without warning, he grabs my school tablet straight out of my hands. I'm too stunned to even stop him. He then taps something on the notes section, then digits, bold and clean cut on the screen. A phone number. Say that to him! He hands me back my tablet before striding out of the classroom, leaving me shaken. I immediately head to the rooftop to get some fresh air. Haru's words echo and re-echo in my skull with every step. Your fault. She's dead. Too late. I shove them out as I burst through the door. I nearly rushed into a face full of plants in my face. The sunlight angrily cuts into my eyes as I slump on the nearest bench, breathing deeply through my nose. I just need some rest, some silence, some... Hey, watch out! I jerk upright as a giant monster of fluffy fabric plummets through the air, pelting the space where my head was just moments ago. Suddenly a very large warm wave blows squarely on my lap, and I feel a tickle of velvety hair against my cheek. In the space of 10 seconds, I've somehow acquired an Akira Karube sitting on the edge of my knees, hands braced against my shoulders, nose just an inch away from mine. I don't even have time to be embarrassed. As quick as she landed on me, Akira jumps away, flashing a brilliant red. I'm sorry, Yama, I didn't mean... A response stumbles out of my mouth before I have time to think. What? It's fine, son. But it's so... It's fine, really. Akira buries her face in her hands, thoroughly mortified. I seize the moment to glance around, trying to figure out what just happened. The fabric beside me seems to be a pile of costumes. Silks and satins in rich colors. Meticulously embroidery and white lace are just some of the materials that catch my eye. It's an enormous pile. I can't believe that she was trying to carry it by herself. Are these for the drama club? Yeah! We're having dress rehearsal for an impromptu show after school. You should come and give your undying support to Ruri. I've never seen her in such strange mood before. Akira might be Akira, but something seems to be bothering her intensely. Maybe I should ask her about it. It's a bad idea, but let's do it. Say, is everything okay? Oh, of course, everything is greater than gravy, brighter than rain, peacher than peaches peach, peacher who possibly poached of plethora of peaches. Yeah, something is definitely suspicious. It almost feels like she's trying hard. You sure? Ma, you've gotten quite observant, haven't you? She shuffles backward, clasping her hands together. The truth is, I'm nervous. I relaxed. Well, that was anticlimactic. Nervous for... Isamu is about to explode in 30 seconds. You can disarm the bomb in time. Then why are we wasting time around here? Oh, Admiral, you have no sense of humor. On the contrary, you should have played along. Her shoulders loosened from their prior tension as she releases a tiny giggle. You strike a fair point. Very well, I admit it. I, Akira Karube, veteran of the Drama Club, am nervous for a little impromptu performance. Oh, yes, same. The dishonor there. Isn't it just your second year in the Drama Club? Hey? Anyone would get stage fright. Even lifelong actors get stage fright. All you can do is practice. Practice? Why, I dare say that's a great idea. Oh, of course it is. So, wanna be my partner? Wait, what? It's probably the last thing I'm in the mood for. No? Ah! I didn't tell you what to do! What do I need to do? You just need to stand there like a candle on a stick. No. Ah! Admiral Mini-Hat! Just ask Rui. I should. That's an unusual response. You don't want to? It's not a question of wanting to. Then what's the question? On the contrary, what is the answer? What? The question doesn't matter so long as you have the answer. You can find the answer if you have the right question. You can also find the question if you have the right answer. Yeah, purple. Huh? I just gave you an answer. What's the question? Ah, you're a sneaky one, Admiral Mini-Head. I see. I've underestimated you. I can't help but chuckle at that. So, will you help a comrade in need? I want to say yes, but I decide to play around a little more. Maybe. There is no middle ground. Choose this day which side you take. I recommend you choose wisely. Then no. Ah! Please! Fine. Really? Yeah. I don't trust you. Why? I said fine. Anyone who is so quick to change his mind should not be trusted. I don't blame her. Something about being around Akira makes me whimsical. Maybe she's rubbing off on me. Regardless, I slap my head on my chest in salute and bow. I swear, I'll be your practice partner for this launch period. Satisfied? Swear upon the grave of the protein shakes and molasses, and we have a deal. Protein shakes and... No, I shouldn't even be surprised at this point. I solemnly swear upon the grave of protein and molasses... Protein shakes! Protein shakes and molasses that I'll be your practice partner for this launch period. Accept this oath and bid it too. You know, time's running out. If we're going to practice, we should do it now. Party pooper! Akira clears her throat and steps away, closing her eyes. Despite myself, I feel a rush of excitement. It is just like when Rui and I played make-believe. Akira suddenly whips around, flinging an arm towards me. Her entire posture drew me new power. I see you have finally arrived! Sacred Star Flame! Truly, it's perfect timing. You get a front row seat to the mass zombification of your people. Sacred Star Flame. What kind of character would that be? Not today, eh, Shadow Bell? I shall purify your soul and then purify the planet! We shall see! First you must proceed through me! Such a bad context! Ah, spirits of the cosmos, bond with the summons of the abyss and heed my call! Expatriate this world! Akira lunges for the pile of fabric on the bench, withdrawing a long, narrow paintbrush out of nowhere. What kind of practice is this? Activate Orion Microcell Abolishment Prototype 14! She twirls the paintbrush with expert precision in her hand and jabs it at me. Am I supposed to follow through with this? I glance around for something to match her paintbrush, but find nothing other than a hand trowel. I pick it up with two hands, making it as if it's heavy. Angels of light and flyers of freedom, bestow me with your blessings and don me with fitting arms to combat your mortal enemy. Light Spear Initiative! I swivel the shovel around my head, waving it like some kind of giant halberd. She seems to understand. You're stronger than I expected! It appears that just one blow from your cursed weapon shall wipe me from existence. Of course you'll have to hit me first. Oh, no. She dashes in, jabbing the paintbrush at my side. I fling myself away, swinging my shovel towards her, but she nimbly drops on the ground. I take a second for recovery, which tries to land a solid poke on my shin. Oh! I'll bite your kneecaps! She pulls away. I swing the halberd straight for her skull, but she leaps with a cat-like grace, thrusting her rapier straight to my heart. I immediately parry the tip with my hilt, driving the edge towards her, but she easily disengages. Wait. Disengages, sorry. Truly, her name as being of power of justice is Sacred Starflame. As is your name as being of corruption, Shadowbell. I'll take that as compliment. She stops again. This time I'm ready. I catch the rapier and twist it, sending it spiraling out of her grasp. Ah! Give up, Shadowbell. Justice demands retribution. Well, that's unfortunate because it sure won't be getting any. She backflips upon the nearest bench. Absently, I press at her agility and raises hand to the sky. Power of the sea and stretch of the sky, intertwine to formless void and enrich this humble vessel with the glory of your eternal wrath. Could this be a finishing blow? I sign you onto the crimson depths of graven oaths and relieve you of your ancient constraints. Millennial acre crescent destruction! She flips to the ground and lands in a somersault, crushing her fist to the ground. I fly back, crumpling against the nearest tree. Ugh! She covers her rapier, pointing at my throat. Any last words? I tighten my grip on my halberd, willing all strength to my arms. Not yet. I slam my foot against the hilt of her rapier, turning it to the side as I roll away. As she stumbles for bounds, I swing my halberd clean at her neck. She barely dodges in time. Huh, clever trick. I'll be sure to relay that to the high order. Oh, I tire of your paltry existence. You are like an incessant, irritating insect that means nothing to me. You are dirt beneath my shoe, a pebble in my ocean, a speck of dust on... I swing my halberd at her and chop her head off. Admiral Mini Head! Yes? You interrupted me! I was subverting expected dramatism. If we had an audience, they probably would have laughed. But probably long monologues are the best part of being a villain. I break into laughter as I return the shovel to its rightful place. Maybe so, but they are useless. The villain is leaving himself vulnerable for way longer than he should. Akira fixes her eyes on me for a moment, a small, affectionate smile curling at her lips. Yeah, I guess you're right. Her little giggle emphasizes the flush in her cheeks. I realize that the heaviness in my mind has completely dissipated. You know what? Rui is great and everything, but I think like she would be a better option. But well, okay. Hey Akira, thanks. What for? The fun. It was crazy of course, but fun. I'm glad. She suddenly wraps her arms around her body, looking intensely vulnerable. Oh no! What? I shouldn't have. Suddenly she scoops up the pile of fabric and races to the door. Is that the bell? Why, I do declare that's the bell! Goodbye, Admiral! Without another word, she kicks the door open and races down the stairs. It slams behind her, leaving me alone on the rooftop. I head back to my classroom in total bewilderment. Why does Akira have to operate without rhyme or reason? She was completely fine up until the very end. Then out of the blue she just snapped. Either way, I did have fun. Akira's antics really cleared my mind. I just wonder why she's acting so strangely. I make it to my seat right as the bell rings, hailing another period of gossip-ridden classes. Surprisingly, the PA clicks on and a special video announcement by the principal is streamed to our whiteboard. Good afternoon, students. As you are all aware, we have found ourselves in a most tragic and bewildering turn of events. We request that throughout the following circumstances, you remain calm. Rest assured that, above all else, the Academy prioritizes your safety. The first matter, we particularly request that you refrain from any communications with the media. Our faculty and partners are diligently working to solve the matter at hand and will deal with any questions aimed at their way. Secondly, class will continue as scheduled. Please do not neglect your studies. Special security is employed to keep you safe. Thirdly, in order to best ensure security, curfew has been moved from 11:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Please consider this timekeeping when you make plans. Try to refrain from being out of the school when alone. I expect growls from the student body, but there are none. People must be really scared. What I find interesting is the implementation of harsher curfew when all the disappearances have been taking place inside campus after curfew. Maybe they are just trying to hide the truth. Please keep the security measure in mind as you plan your day. In accommodation, the dormitory, recreation rooms, exercise rooms and practice rooms will be open for 24 hours. Off-campus students are strongly advised to adhere to similar guidelines. Thank you for your patience. The video shuts off, leaving the classroom in silence. Our teacher rises to the front of the room, visibly shaken. Well, that was very informative. Let's continue. I glance over at Akiko. His face is completely blank, but I can see his knuckles turning white against his desk. Unfortunately, right as I attempt to start conversation, the teacher calls on me. By the time I remember my original intentions, school's already ended. Akiko bolts from his seat immediately after dismissal, barely sparing me a second glance. Even Lisbeth splits from her groupies before I can catch her. I spend a few moments still and silent in my chair. Alone, completely alone. Have you seen Beth? I jerk upright and come face to face with Natsuki Tanaka. She's smiling, standing upright in her pristine, neatly ironed academy uniform, her eyes bright and clean and nothing like the girl I met the previous night. I feel a curdle of disgust in the pit of my stomach. Disgust. And if I'm honest with myself, a tinge of fear. You just missed her, but you probably already knew that. And if I did? Then I assumed that you wanted to talk to me. Why would I want to do that? You ran around with all the answers. She giggles slightly behind her hand. I get the sickening feeling that she's enjoying this. If perchance you see Beth, do give her my regards. Why don't you tell her yourself? I wonder. She turns on her heel and drifts away without another word. I clench my hands against the desk, fighting to keep my anger down. She's aggravating, insane, undefeatable. I roughly grab my backpack and exit the school, looking to clear my head again. I eerily wandered the streets, feeling the acute pang of loneliness for the first time in a long time. Ruined Akira, a drama club, Masato track, Akiko at I don't even know, probably his own club, Misaki, who knows, Ari, who knows, Elizabeth, who knows. Not only that, but no one really knows about the investigations, no one knows the crimes as much as I do, no one knows what I've been up to. No one except Mr. Ryota. I could visit him, but at the same time it doesn't feel right, like I'm using him as my crutch instead of learning to function in society on my own. I want to get rid of it, I wanted to learn how to be independent. But that doesn't really seem to happen. The first crutch was... Well, the second crutch was my parents. But I made sure I received proper care from therapists, stayed physically healthy, and completed my schoolwork even when I least wanted. Moment, give me a second. Okay. The third crutch was and is Rui. I intended to come to the school with her so that I could learn to be self-sufficient. I'd be able to develop into a person that could impress his parents. I could be intelligent, wise, capable, full of initiative. I could finally find the identity of Yama Ishimoto. But instead, I just clung to Rui and stuck to my old ways, because there is no reason for drive or anything risky when something familiar will suffice. I need to get over that. I need to prevent myself from gaining a fourth crutch. A sudden strain of piano breaks through my thoughts. I instinctively turn to the source of the noise, and find myself staring straight at the Café de la Pax. The melody is simple, but somehow eloquent. Curious, I try to glance through the window. To my surprise, I find Elizabeth Oshiro seated before a polished ebony ground, fingers plodding determinedly across the keys as she bites her lip in concentration. I didn't know she played piano. I am struck with a sudden urge to talk to her, but fight against it. She'll probably just drive me insane, right? Alright. She might drive you insane, but let's talk to her, why not? I can't help it, I need some company. Maybe some good old-fashioned arguing would cheer me up. When I enter the cafe, Elizabeth abruptly kisses her, playing and leaps to her feet. You, what are you doing here? I grin at her obvious discomfort. I'm a customer. Why else would I be here? Then go ahead and talk to him. He'll take your order. I'm on break. She nods at the counter, where a kindly body size waiting to take my order. Then she turns back to the piano. I only plop next to her. How can I resist the seduction of a mediocre crown player? She colors fingers curling against the keys. Waiter, tell this person that he should leave if he's not going to buy anything. Waiter, tell dear Elizabeth Oshiro that I'm about to buy a croissant. Then tell this person that he should go buy a croissant instead of paying his attention to a mediocre piano player. Tell dear Elizabeth Oshiro that you have more than enough intelligence to know that I'm buying a croissant without having to go to the counter and point it out. Waiter, tell this person that he's a boorish prat. Waiter, tell dear Elizabeth Oshiro that she ought to calm down and have a spot of tea. Elizabeth is still for a moment. Then she turns to me, a dangerous smile on her face. Enlighten me, Yama Ishimoto. What idea to expect one's piano skills to measure up? Something not terrible. Such as? I blurt the first piece that comes to mind. I can't lose her face now. Shopping, I guess. Shopping. Poland! Yeah! Shopping. That's a tall order. In that case, do you know any person with not terrible piano skills? Many, just not you. Oh, of course, assume that you yourself are well versed in piano to be confident enough to judge me. So this is what she had up her sleeve. Just because I don't play myself doesn't mean that I can't tell good playing. You must be the same way with making friends. I feel her words like a punch to my gut. I have more than enough good friends. Oh! Maybe I'm just not stupid enough to befriend people like you? Well, I could say the same for you. And what kind of person am I? She spent a moment in silence, clearly collecting herself for a reply. Lazy, spoiled, rude, insensitive. Surprise, surprise. She closes her eyes and returns to the piano. I try to find a reply, but before I can make a move, the barista thrusts something at me. Croissant! I stare at the pastry for a moment before I realize what he means. Oh, thanks. I take the croissant from him, dropping some cash in his hand. He returns to the counter. I bite into the buttery croissant as I mumble in Elizabeth's direction. Seems like you've had a lot of pent-up anger. Eh? What? What? I was expecting you to threaten me again, as you seem to enjoy doing. I'm feeling generous today. I'd use many words to describe, but generous isn't one of them. Yeah, you seem to prefer lazy, spoiled, rude, and insensitive. Elizabeth's eyes widen. She studies my face heavily, a clear tilt of confusion to her brow. What? You sounded exactly... She trails off, regaining control of herself. Nothing. That didn't look like nothing. She clearly ignores me and sets her fingers to the piano, pressing slowly on the keys. The sweet, simple melody fills the cafe with a relaxing vibe. I settle back, munching on my croissant. Suddenly, Elizabeth stops, glaring at me. Stop that! Stop what? Stop staring at me! You know, I vaguely recall having this conversation before. Because we have! What if I like staring at you? That brings a completely different reaction than expected. Elizabeth turns beet red and shoves me away. What are you bloody talking about? Her extreme reaction immediately puts me on defensive. I was just... You can't say things like that! What the heck happened to the cool and collected Elizabeth just a few minutes ago? It's not a big... Words like that must be thrown around so trivially. What's gotten into you? Nothing, nothing! I'm going to practice. She quickly starts flopping on the keys. The notes are harsh and flat, grating against my ears like broken glass. I'm tempted to supply some dry commentary but manage to hold my tongue out of curiosity. What could be causing such drastic behavior? I said, stop staring at me! I said, what if I like... Fine, stare, whatever! She continues marching on the piano, her hair flying about her face from her hurried motions. After a few minutes, through her tune begins to mellow, she returns to her previous song, slowing her fingers to a tender touch. I sit in silence, passively watching this transformation as I finish my croissant. I expect Elizabeth to ignore me for the rest of the practice session, but surprisingly, she's the first one to speak. My mother loved the piano. I hold back a teasing comment, intrigued by her unusual mood. And? My grandfather said that she used to be quite good at it. So that's why I play? No. She plays in silence for a moment longer. Right as I start to wonder if she's bipolar, she speaks again. There is one thing that people can't say I can do. Piano? Music in general. I can't sing, can't play an instrument, can't even dance. I'm going to change that next year. I feel a spark of irritation. There again, the girl who controls the future has made another appearance. Why? Well, naturally, then I'll be perfect. That's stupid. Maybe to you. Then again, you wouldn't know anything about perfection. I doubt you've ever tried to obtain it. I just go in circles with this girl. And here I was, thinking that she might actually be a civil person, and time I actually have a civil conversation with her. Well, excuse me, your majesty, not all of us lovely peasants can be as amazing as you. That wasn't what I... Cheerio, good queen. I have other affairs to see to. This is just like you never listen. Huh, you never ask. You're insufferable. Thank you. I grab my backpack, pressing a discordant key on the piano just to annoy her. Farewell, Princess Barista. Elizabeth is unusually silent as I exit the cafe. Maybe she'll finally start thinking for herself. Or maybe she thought it would be useless to say anything since you never listen. I shake the thought away. She doesn't deserve my respect. What? She already ruined that one chance she possibly had. What? I head in the street as gentle piano drifts behind me. And that's where we end the episode. Okay, there was some text message, I guess. Or email, I don't know. Well, the same thing basically. Currently, yeah, you can say the same thing actually, yeah. When using on the phone. For now at least. Alright, let's end the episode here. Hope you enjoyed it and see you in the next one. Bye bye.